I'm back.
Every time I walk out that door, every time I interact with anybody new, my purpose is to help change.
It's time to celebrate life. If you know that you're in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know you want better for your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you have what it takes to be in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you are not just trying to be good for you, but for those around you, it's time to stand up. As a matter of fact, look to the person to your left and tell them you are enough.
I want to help you change, and just like you change, every time I interact with somebody, they help me change. It's no different than if I met an individual and they had 4 quarters and they needed change, or if I had $1 and they had 4 quarters, I need to change. We can swap the money. The value is still the same. They still got $1, I still got $1, but we both exchange something, and it was a change for both of us. So every time I walk out that door, I inspire to help change lives just as much as lives have changed me.
Y'all been listening to the wrong people, watching the wrong things all your life, and it's time to put to rest all those negative thoughts, because you are enough. It's time to put to rest that self-doubt, because you are enough. It is time to get rid of that negative energy, because you are enough. It is time to stop listening to people that don't have the best interests of you in your life, because you are enough. So let's have a moment of silence. I want everybody to understand that you are the person that's in charge of your life. Everything that you have inside of you to be who you're supposed to be in life. You have a destiny, and that destiny can only be accomplished through you, by you, and only you, with the help of God. When you realize that you are the person you are, because you're not a carbon copy, there's only one you. They try to put you in a box. Society tries to put you in a box, but you can't be in a box. How can you be in a box when there's only one you? But then they tell you, think outside the box. What I'm trying to get you to understand is there is no box.
I want to pass on the things that I have to the generations behind me. By the time it's time for me to get called home and go to the grave, I want to be empty. I believe in bankrupting the cemetery, so I can't take this knowledge with me, because the cemetery is already full of brilliant ideas and unwritten books and innovative ideas. I can't take this with me, so I'm trying to leave it all here as Billy Graham Jr. to the next generation so somebody else can carry it on.
Well, we are back. And man, I must say, I am happy to see you. Now, I know y'all probably happy to see me, but you're going to be even more thrilled when you get to meet the individual that we have coming on today. When I say she is a woman of many talents, I was just listening and reading some of the things she does, and I'm like, how does somebody find this much time in a day to get all this accomplished? I don't know. I'm not even going to try to figure it out. Maybe we might figure it out and she can let us in a little bit into her life so we can understand how she pulls all these things off. Because you hear all the time about people that are like in the beauty industry, whether it be makeup, whether it be hair, whether it be anything beauty related. But this is a different type of professional. Her professional beauty industry that she's involved with, this doesn't involve one part or one aspect of the beauty industry. It's the whole entire body. Now, don't get me wrong. I was lost. I was like, how does she do it? But I'm not even going to hold it up any longer. I'm going to let you introduce you to her so you can meet her, learn about her, learn how she does it, how to get involved in it, so that you too might want to take the path or journey that she's on. So I'm not going to hold you up any longer. I'm going to bring you the one, the only, the amazing Miss Kenyatta McLeod.
Hi.
What's going on?
Not much. How are you?
I am blessed and highly favored as always.
Amen. We like to hear it.
Now, before I even get going, can you tell the world who is Miss Kenyatta? I'm sorry. Kenyatta. Don't get me. I'm sorry. Miss Kenyatta McLeod.
She's wild, free spirited, likes to do what she wants to do, beats to her own drum. Half Sag, half Scorpio. Yeah, we're out here.
So no, I'm not gonna let you go past that. How does somebody live life that does what they want to do and beat at their own drum? Because we hear it all the time, but some of us are so like just programmed to like, we went to school, went to high school, get to college, whether you went to your career and you just on this path, just doing this. How does somebody live a life that just beats at their own drum?
I don't like social norms.
Is that what got you into the beauty industry?
Raw talent was what got me there. Like I started doing stuff for girls in high school for prom hair. And then they were like, you're just really good at that. And then I started like, doing little side color jobs on my girlfriends in the bathroom, and my aunt, she's still doing hair. I think she's my great aunt. I think she's like 70 something and she's still doing hair. So I used to sit in the shop during summer times when I go to visit. Aunt Sarah is her name. And I used to sit there with her and watch her do it. And I was like, I could do that. I was like, but my special niche was color corrections and color. So let's go back then. Because you said you raw talent, figured it out, doing people's hair in high school, raw color and everything. What was that thing that made you say, that's what I'm great at? Or did somebody say, hey, I saw you do your own hair, or you did such and such hair? And what was that moment because people might pass their moment of knowing what their raw talent is, but how did you figure out that was your raw talent? Well, I wound up having a young, beautiful baby at the age of 21. Oh, wow. And I was serving in a restaurant for like a year and a half, and I absolutely hated it because I also have ADHD, just didn't know it for a very long time. And I don't work well with your regular type of job. Like my brain is too creative and I get really bored easy. So I was like, I want to be able to create things. I actually used to paint a lot. And when I was in junior in high school, I was commissioned to paint a mural downtown at the skate shop for like $1,000. That was a lot of money, back in, what year was that? Like 1996, 97, something like that.
So hold on, because you said coloring was your niche. So basically you were already doing with colors way back in high school. The reason I'm asking that question is because people tend to think that their gift or a talent aligns with one thing. Because when you said that, most people will think, oh, she's just going to become an artist, a painter. But it ended up leading you into doing coloring of hair.
Mm-hmm. I just transferred what I would do on paper onto hair instead.
Okay, so somebody that's a creative, that you said you had ADHD undiagnosed all that time, because somebody out there is listening that might be dealing with it or have dealt with it or still like trying to figure out where they want to go in life. How did your creative say, if I can do it on paper, I can do it in here?
Didn't really say it. It's just like, I was just kind of like, how would this translate if I could for instance, I did Van Gogh Starry Night. I took all the colors and I did a placement into a girl's hair.
Oh, I didn't know they can cross over like that. I was thinking something totally different. Okay, so when you take that Starry Night and cross it over to her hair, what happens then that says, okay, I'm going to keep doing this instead of painting?
It was just a different medium. I just went from paper to hair. So it's like, I'd fallen off for a long time after I had my daughter, my oldest daughter. And I just I got really kind of depressed. I kind of got bored and just I don't know, I need to do something with my life. So I was like, let's go to hair school. So I went to hair school. I mean, it started off a little rough. It took me a little while to figure out, my real flow of doing hair, but eventually it came around.
Okay, so can you tell us those ups and downs? Because I think that's where a lot of people get caught up at, because a lot of people will be tracking along like, this is what I want to do. And that first obstacle, first hurdle, whatever it may be, that's where a lot of people quit. And the ones that don't quit, they'll keep going and push. But then that second hurdle, they're like, yep, I know this isn't for me. But it's those ones that keep pushing past that and get to the finish line. How does that, they don't, most people, because, you know, social media today, we don't see that middle piece. We just see people say, I started and I'm here today. And it's like, well, what happened in that middle so I can get through it? So can you tell us that ups and downs that you're talking about that helped you overcome and get to where you are now?
Well, I started doing hair. Then I just kind of like, I don't know. I have a very strong personality. Okay. And not everybody gets along with my said personality. I don't look for people to like me. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to be your friend. That's fine. But it's like when you live in a really small town, everybody, you know, keys, gossips a lot, this, that, and the other thing. So then I kind of just was like, I don't like this environment now. So I think I'm going to go and change something up real quick. And I decided to go to massage school.
Okay. So how do you transition from painting? I understand from painting to hair, but how do you transition? Because you just told us you were in school to do hair, and then it transitioned to massage school. So how did that happen?
I graduated from hair school. I worked in a salon for a while. I just didn't love the dynamic of salon life, because I'm not going to lie, I don't get along with females very well. Okay. A lot of my friends throughout my life have been dudes, because my brain works like a man. It really does. My dad always laughs about that, because he's all like, it's really true though. So I just like, some things I'm just like, I don't understand. And like, I'm very blunt and I say what I say. And then sometimes I like look at people and they look at me like, why did you just say that? And I was like, well, is it not true? Like, but why are you mad though? Is it not true?
So that crossover from after you got through and you were in the salon life to transfer to going to massage school, was it because of all those interactions that you were having that said, you know what? Because you said small town. Could you tell us what this small town was at that you were like, this isn't gonna work? I got to transition to something else.
Oh, I'm still here.
Where is here?
Minot, North Dakota.
Oh wow. Okay, how first off, thank you, Mindy, for tuning in, because she loves you. We all understand why, because I get it. But how did you get to Minot?
I was born here.
Are you a military brat?
I am.
I ask because there's certain places in the world that most people just don't end up at unless there is a reason, and that makes sense.
Yep. Shout out to Lewis E. McLeod Jr., who's my dad, Mr. Mac.
Right. Tell him we said thank you for his service and everything that he's done.
Yes.
So now, how does that work now you got to take us through that, because I understand you left. You said this salon part is not working for me. What made you pick massage?
Strangely enough, let's go back to high school. And I was always like, you know, giving scalp massages and little like shoulder massages to all my little friends and this, that. You have magic hands. My mother actually used to pay me to give her a massage. Yeah, my mom used to pay me. She didn't, even though I was, you know, angsty. I was a super angsty teenager. I was a very emo kid. And I was like, I don't want to touch you though. She's like, I give you some money. I was like, that doesn't even make it better, because I'm like, I wasn't a kid that cared about money. I just wanted to be left alone. So I was like, fine. And she's like, and to this day, I kind of have to thank my mom, because then, you know, I was like, all right, cool. And then it had this program and I was like, let me go try that. And that does have to go back with the fact that when you do have like, because I have ADHD, but I don't have the hyperactivity of it. I just have like, I get bored super fast. Like I'm just all like, I don't want to do that though.
I'm wrapping my head around this, because you said somebody is like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to touch you. But how does that work when you were in high school and you literally became the person that was doing hair and giving massages? Like, how does that work for somebody that doesn't want to do those things?
I guess it was like a foreshadow. God was foreshadowing it for me. He's like, you gonna do this. I gave you special gifts with your hands. Your hands are your gift. So you're going to go do that. And I'm like, and I'm over here. I'm like, no, I'm going to prodigal all day long.
I'm so glad you said that, because so many people overlook that and underestimate that part, because we tend to want to do things our way. But how you just said, like, God's like, no, this is what I want you to do. I don't care what you think. This is who I made you to be. And you're one of those few people I'm learning that stuck with that. And then that transition, like, yeah, you might have got tired of, like, I'm not doing a salon life, but then you went into massage. So when you did transfer into massage after salon, how long or where is that taking you after that?
So I did massage for about 11 years. I started it here in North Dakota, but then in 2007, I moved to Seattle, Washington, and I did it there for quite some time. I got to like work in the really cool like spas and stuff like that. And that was cool. And then I wound up meeting my ex-husband, and I had my second daughter. And then I kind of just like, yeah, things got a little wild after that.
Did that little while after that, you just say, did that transition you to something else outside of massage? Because you say you did that for 11 years.
Yeah, it transitioned me to just being at home with my youngest for a little bit, for about 2.5 years. And then we moved back to North Dakota because I was like, I need a support system, because I did not have one there. And I really missed my dad. And then also I didn't get to grow up knowing my grandparents well. And my grandfather passed away when I was 16. And I didn't want that for my girls, because I'm like, I don't have a like strong sense of tie to my family like I should, because we always like, we're a military family, and we lived in the craziest place where it was so hard to go visit. Like we've got, we'd have to jump in the old Oldsmobile and drive like 3 days. Mom would fry the chicken and put it in the tin foil and keep it in the thingy.
I laugh with you, but I know me and my wife to talk about that, because that's what we dealt with, like with our kids. Like, don't get me wrong, they love family, they know family. It's just that certain tie that you don't get that others have when they're growing up right around them. So totally understand. So you get this beautiful life, you go through this, you go from North Dakota, Seattle, then back to North Dakota. What transitions after that?
Then I transitioned into doing some little like retail jobs for a little bit. And then decided to take a leap of faith with the help of my other adoptive mom, Sally, and started my own salon suite by myself. What
leads you back into that? If it was something, if you were pushed out of the salon for various reasons, being a small town,
I got to be by myself. I got to make my own rules.
Okay, so you didn't have other people working the salon with you?
No, I worked with other people, but we were our own separate businesses. So I just came and went as I went, and I paid my rent, my booth, my chair rental, and I did my own thing.
So y'all opened like a collaboration kind of business?
No, she owned the salon. I just rented a chair from her at the time.
And how does that work? Because I know, because you're doing things with your hands. So how does that work when you're like, I'm staying here right now doing this with my own, running my own kind of business?
Like, what do you mean though? Like
you say, because it's her building, and now it's like a mixture of you're in her salon, but it's you starting your own thing.
Yeah, so I had my own chair and my own station, and we had our own like designated shampoo bowl for ourselves. And so we were just like, we all came at different times and different days. So we kind of like, so only sometimes we would all work together.
Oh, that makes sense. Cause I was like, how do you get back into it? So now, cause somebody's out there listening, they're like, I don't know what I want to do. I like to do hair, or I like to do stuff with my hands, whether it be paint, whether it be massages. So for somebody like they're listening to you, what would you go back and tell that younger version of yourself that's out there listening? What path or what direction? Because you just said ADHD, and you're like, I get bored with stuff. Like, is there a different type of path you would put that person on, or would you do exactly everything the same?
Definitely not the same.
And that's the life lessons that we want to learn from you.
Yeah.
You have the knowledge.
Hindsight is 2020.
Yes. And that's why we want you to teach us this hindsight.
Well, honestly, if I could have the exact same children I have, but later, I would have preferred that. However, God had a plan that I had to go. I went along with it because, well, didn't really have any other choice at that time. But I have two of the most beautiful girls. My oldest daughter is amazing. She is so smart, so gifted. She's just, I don't know. Like, I always tell people, like my sister says the same thing about her kids, but like my first child was sent to save my life because I was doing absolutely nothing. I wasn't. I was just all like, I don't know what I want to do with myself. I was just working a job that I absolutely hated because it's like a 40-hour work week. I was like, I can't do this. It's like, I don't love it. And then my second little Spitfire wild child of the world was sent. She was sent to enrich it and give me like a lot of gray hair.
Oh, wow. I love it. I love how you say that because, now, don't get me wrong, I believe all kids are blessings. But it's crazy how as parents, each kid does something else and means something else for your life. And believe it or not, they don't know that they help catapult us to do other things and be better for not just ourselves, but for them, to help them have that better life. So with the lessons that you learn, can you see any of those things that were passed on to your girls that they're doing stuff in life with?
My oldest one, she's great with money, and I'm so proud with that because I was not for a long time.
The reason I asked that question because you said that your aunt, you worked in the salon with her and you done stuff with her, and people overlook that when stuff is handed down to us. No.
I just hung out in the salon with Aunt Sarah. I didn't work or nothing. I just hung out there and talked to the people.
But you picked up something.
I did. I picked up. It was just, yeah.
It could have been something as simple, like you just said, you talk to the people. It was that customer service aspect. Most people suck at customer service, believe it or not. We've all been to those places and we're like, you want us to give you our money and you're right. Like this, like it's the little thing. And so many of us overlook those little nuances that end up making us better in the long run. So when you're thinking like, oh, I wish I would have did this, or I love that I did this, or maybe I could have did this way. People have picked up stuff from you. I picked up something from you just from talking to you in this 20 so minutes, like those little nuances. And I'm like you just said, like, oh, she learned with the money finances because I wasn't, but you gave her something that made her say, all right, this is what we need to do. So I say that because, as you said, your hands, whether it be you doing somebody's hair, giving them a massage, that customer service, you gave them something to make them feel better about themselves to go do great things. And people don't realize that's how your gifts work, and you're utilizing them at a very, very great pace. So now I got another question.
What?
Because we transitioned from painting, we went to hair, and then we went into massage.
Yes.
What was the next transition?
The next transition was back to hair, but specifically to coloring the hair.
Coloring the hair. Was that what you were doing into your own, when you had your own business with the...
Yeah.
That's what you were doing. Okay. Is that something we're still doing today? Is that still your primary objective, coloring hair?
No.
I knew it wasn't because I don't know why I did that, because you said, nope, I get bored with something and I'm going to... What is it? What did we move to after color? The reason I'm asking these questions, and it's so ironic because I know a lot of people. I'm kind of like that, but I'm not. I do it on certain things. But I know people that are so great at so many things. What do they call them? A jack of all trades. And you can dibble and dabble and do that and be great and successful in so much stuff. So I already knew when I asked that question, I should have knew the answer, that you transitioned from coloring hair.
I did.
What was the next thing?
I'm currently apprenticing at Nickel and Dodge here in Minot, North Dakota, which is a studio where they do facials and spa and microchanneling, all the good things to keep you looking lovely and young. But now I'm apprenticing to be a cosmetic tattoo artist.
Hold on. Go into. I was with you. I understood when you said the facials and all. What is the cosmetic tattoo artist?
So if you have people that you say they have alopecia or they had cancer, or, you know, they just want to not have to do their makeup in the morning, tattoo their eyebrows on, can tattoo their eyeliner on, can tattoo their lip color.
That doesn't hurt.
Nobody said that.
Because I have tattoos and I'm thinking about the places I got them. I know what it felt like getting them. But then I'm talking about even if I have a bump on my face and I try to pop it, I'm talking about water just starts coming out of my eyes. Like, how do you tattoo somebody's eyeliner?
That's eyeliner is hard.
Like, I'm just imagining a tattoo around my lip or around my eyebrows. Like, I don't think yeah. What makes one get into that? Like, what is the thought process of saying I want to do that? Like, how does that happen?
It was just interesting to me. Like, it was interesting, and like, it's tedious, and it's like, honestly, it's like, for me, when I'm doing it, it's therapeutic. It like actually is very calming for me when I'm like tattooing.
And what is the client base like? Like, is that something growing or something been around? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, it's been around for a while, but it's always constantly changing. Like the techniques, the ink that you use. Yeah, like just a whole bunch of stuff. The machines are constantly changing.
Wow. And you're apprenticing for that. So what does it look like once you're done? How long is the apprenticeship? And then what does it look like afterwards?
Well, here in North Dakota, it's extensive. You're supposed to do 400 procedures, 1,000 hours. That's including, that's including, some book work, first aid, bloodborne pathogens.
Oh, wow. And so with you doing this, do you have any time to like still dabble in all of the other stuff like the hair, the paint, the massage? Do you still do all that as well? When? How do you find the time?
You don't find time, you make it.
Ooh. No. I understand what you're trying to say, but you're going to have to help me with this one. Because you said all the book stuff, and it Ashley says, what can't she do? We're going to learn today, Ashley, because she's still giving us more and more stuff. So I'm going to get to a point where she's like, no, that's it. Or I don't know if she does or not, but I'm like, what else can't do? Because you say you do all this, and we're saying we got time on the side. And even Emily was like saying that she misses you and her hair misses you. So they all like, we got to find a way to figure this out. I'm with you, Emily. We're going to figure out how to get your hair done. Because I understand it misses you. So how does this work? You said it takes this many procedures, this many hours, which means you got to also study and practice, because you just can't walk in and do a procedure. So you got to study, practice, do the procedures, this many hours. That time because I believe you got to sleep somewhere, but that time you say you make, like, how do you balance that? Oh, I'm going to go get somebody a massage, or I'm going to go do somebody's colors, or where do you fit that kind of stuff into your life?
So I only do tattooing 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 to 5 on Tuesdays, 1 to 5 on Thursdays. Then on Wednesdays and Fridays, I do, that's when I'll be massaging. And then like for really close friends and family, I dabble a hair there, here or there. Like I'm going to see my girlfriend, Danielle, here on Monday in Colorado, and she's done so much nice stuff for me. And she's like, she's so humble and sweet, and I love her to death. She's just like, hey, could I trouble you for a haircut? And I was like, what do you mean trouble me? I'm like, you're doing so many nice things. That's not a hard ask. I got you. I can cut your hair for you.
So what I just heard is your services, you travel.
A little bit.
Don't worry, Emily. I'm working on it. We're going to find out how to get it to you. I told you. We're going to figure it out, Emily. We're going to get her over there to you wherever you're at. She's
in Louisiana. I know who that is.
I know. Aha. Louisiana. Don't worry. We're getting closer, Emily. I'm trying to promise you. We're going to have an appointment set up in 2024. I promise you. And while you have it, don't just get your hair done or colored. Get a massage as well. And hopefully she's farther along, and we're going to get you some facial blend. We're going to get it all done for you. We got you, Emily.
I do the facials and stuff. I do that.
Oh my goodness. So now I'm finna ask because everything that you said, everything that your hands and your gift and everything that you're centered around, because it's crazy how you said it earlier, like you are getting therapy as you're doing it. So like you're providing a service that most people would consider self-care, but you're also receiving some type of self-care as well as you're providing these services. Mm-hmm. How does that work, or how does that feel? Like, what is that?
Because I like making people feel good. I like that they leave my presence feeling like a new person. And I can't say that it's always been like that. Like, I mean, I got some, like, got to be self-aware about some things. I wasn't always the best business owner. I had to learn about some things and learn about myself. And, it's a hard thing to sit with yourself and to have to actually like self-reflect. A lot of people don't like to do that. I had a whole year and a half to do that. And, I don't know if people know, like, sometimes you can overshare. Like, sometimes you tell too much of your own business and it should have been about your client. And I was really guilty of that, but we're better with that now.
Now, you said something that I want you to elaborate on, because you said that business aspect side of it. Like, we hear so much today, because we're in that, if everybody know, we're in that wave of entrepreneurship. Everybody's just, I'm finna go be an entrepreneur. And it's like that. I don't think they really understand that business aspect side of it. Like, you can be good at something, be great at it, whether it be making food or in your case, doing hair. You can be great at all kinds of things. But once you dive into it, so many people don't understand those hurdles or that stuff that they have to do. Can you elaborate on that business side? Because you said that year and a half you went through it. Can you elaborate those things that you learned that you wish you would have known going into it?
Well, I guess this is where we're going to get into like a little bit of a psychology portion of things.
I love it.
Basically, you have to like make sure that the time that you have with your guests, I call them guests because I like that better. I don't like to talk. Clients sound so dirty to me.
Yeah, let's stick with guests.
Yeah, so I had like, some of my guests, you have to like draw a fine line because like some of your guests do become your friends, but then it gets carried away a little too much. Okay. And then like the more of your personal life starts falling more into your business when you have to, scale that back a little bit. And it needs to be about that person and what's going on in their life. Because like for a while there, I would call myself a therapist because I would hear a lot of stuff. And, for some people, I'm glad that I was able to help them with a lot of things that was going on in their lives at the time. But then like, like I said, I'm obviously no longer married, and that really took a toll on my business, because there was a lot of stuff going on behind the closed doors for me, and I was bringing it to work. But like, as my therapist said, she's like, you would, trauma dump and emotional dump your stuff on your people because you had nowhere else to talk about it.
Wow. I never thought about that. So it's what you just said, which I want people to understand, because okay, let's put it this way. I used to listen to motivational speakers all the time. I was that individual, like I would try to give that inspiration to others, like, pouring into others kind of thing. And then somebody asked one day, and it was like, if you're the person doing all this, sort of like a motivational speaker, who motivates the motivator? And so what you just explained to me as a business owner, which I want other entrepreneurs, future, present, all that, when you're thinking about going in business or you're doing this, you have to have that level of a person that you can talk to, like Kenyatta just said, a therapist or whatever, that family friend, whoever it may be. Because as the owner of the business, it can't be your guest and it can't be your workers. It has to have somebody. And man, a lot of people I don't think understand that. And the reason I say that, because I see so many people utilize social media as their trauma dump. And I'm like, no, get off. This is the wrong place to be doing it. Like, you have a business and you see it all the time. Like, this business is closed and this person is on, because they did what you just said. I like how you explain that, man. So now that you know that, and you're doing juggling all these tasks and got all these different hats, what is the next phase for you as you continue to go through with all the beauty care, the tattoo, facial tattoo, like all of it. Like, what is, knowing what you know now with all this information you've gained over this time, what is the next? Because I know it's another one. You're not going to sit still. You can't sit still. That's like an impossible thing for you. So I know that mind has to be turning like, I got more ideas coming. I'm going to utilize this to get that. What's next?
Well, I also have a little side hustle called Darling Donuts because I have celiac disease. And for a while it was doing pretty well until like my mental health took a little dive for a second. I had to like get myself regrouped, but I make gluten-free, dairy-free, sometimes vegan donuts.
All right, I'm done. You take care of the outside of the body, and now you're working on working on the next step of taking care of the inside of the body. So you're doing the outside. Oh my goodness. Next is going to be juices and teas, and I probably shouldn't have said that because it probably
actually no. I'm a coffee girl.
I was about to say it probably just put some more ideas right there. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do donuts. Donuts and coffee go together. Like, yep, your wheels are turning. I can see it from here.
Well, actually, no. My next thing is I kind of want to go back to school.
What's the phase for that? What do you go to do what?
My actual love wasn't actually any of the things I do.
Okay. What is your actual love?
I wanted to be a doctor.
So again, taking care of somebody with your hands. Mm-hmm. I love it because I want people to understand what you just said, and I don't want to miss it. Like, whenever you're utilizing gifts, purpose, whatever, however you want to phrase it, it's more than one way to utilize it, and you have utilized all these different ways. And I like what you're doing because people skip certain phases. You're utilizing the things that was put before you to get to the thing that you ultimately have a goal of achieving. Most people just want to skip that and be like, I'm going to figure out how to just achieve this goal. I don't care what it takes. And they mess up relationships. They pass over blessings. Like, they do all kinds of things. But you took the whole entire journey. And
I'm on it.
And that's all I'm saying. And you're still on it. So now I have to ask this question because we see so many people want to skip all these stages. Can you explain to us the general purpose of what you have gathered, learned, appreciated, the hurdles and all that on your journey that you're still on? Because people want to skip these steps. You don't have to give every single detail, but those things that you wouldn't have picked up if you wouldn't have been on the journey that you're on, and you just would have been like, nope, I just want to do this, screw everything else.
It's just not a thing.
Explain. Why is it not a thing?
You're just never gonna learn the things you need to learn if you're just gonna try to like, okay, I'm just gonna fast forward and I'm gonna skip over here because you're gonna miss vital information. And then you're gonna have to go back and redo it anyway. When you should just did it right the first time.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because so my wife and I were just having this conversation the other day. And we just think about the social media when right after the COVID and all that hit, pandemic, we were in the house, and you went with people that had like 0 followers, 0 people knew them. Then they had this idea and did a little YouTube research, YouTube University, and made a course. And they said, I'm great at this. And then they blew up and had thousands of followers. And then like a year or two later, they're like, this is going crazy. This flopping. Things are going bad. And me and my wife were talking about it, and it was like, because people miss those stages in the middle. And so when they get to a certain point, they don't know what to do because they didn't do the stages. It's like telling me I'm going to take a kid in first grade and be like, you're going to high school. And they're going to be like, what? Like, you can't skip that in the middle. And people want to skip so many stages in life. And you basically just taught us that, not even taught us, you explained and showed through your life the reason you have to go through these stages. Because if I take you back to 20-year-old you and said, hey, I'm throwing you right in there, it's time to be a doctor, without all the information you've gained over the years, do you think you'll be successful?
Not off the bat, but I'd figure out how.
Of course, you're gonna figure out how, because you're gonna run into the mistakes along the way. But the best part about it is when you're figuring out things, like you said earlier, you have to go back to your support system, which is something you said you had to go do. So I want you, with that, in as many words, however you want to explain it, can you explain to others? Because you hear all the people say it all the time. I started from the bottom of here. I did it all on my own. Can you explain the importance of a support system?
Yeah, I don't know, when people say all that, I'm like, there was always somebody there that either helped you or you stepped on them.
Yes. I've been saying that for years. I'm like, so you didn't go to no bank, nobody talked to you, gave you you didn't watch YouTube, but the one I didn't think about, you just said, was the stepped on. That's a crucial one. We used to call it the crab in the barrel syndrome, but now I guess it's not that, because a lot of times people don't even pull others down. They just step on them to get to where they want to go.
No, people still pull other people down.
I know they still do that, but I never factored in to just stepping on people.
Yeah, right? There's I'm just going to let me just go ahead and climb up this ladder. Oh, I'm sorry, that's actually your head, but I'm going to step on you to get up here to get to where I'm trying to go. Because no one likes discomfort.
Ooh. So what's the remedy for somebody that doesn't like discomfort? Because a lot of people don't like it.
There is none. You're going to have to sit in it.
Ooh. Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes. Nothing good comes from a comfort zone.
I'm right. Hold on. If I got a pen around here, I need to be writing all these quotes down. Nothing comes good from a comfort zone. And then, I'm sorry, but the one you said, because about climbing the ladder, you're climbing the ladder. No, that's your head. I'm gonna have to use that one. I'm gonna have to borrow that one, because that was pure gold. That wasn't a ladder. That's your head. So with knowing this type of stuff and thinking back, can you picture those situations where, based on what you just said, it wasn't a ladder, it was a head, or you need to sit in your comfort zone, or this person crab and barrel syndrome? Are you able to pinpoint those moments where in life, yep, somebody stepped on my head, or I should have sat in my comfort zone, or yep, somebody pulled me down so they can go up, or I accidentally pulled somebody down trying to get up? Can you picture those moments for yourself?
Oh yeah. Oh, they clear as day. Let me tell you, the self-awareness over here is too real these days.
So hold on. I'm not letting you get away with that. Can you explain some of those? Because people sometimes know they're doing it, and sometimes because I've witnessed people that really don't know when they're doing wrong. They really think they're doing right. Can you explain those moments so people can have a general idea?
Let me see. Let me find a good one that's not just throwing people business under the bus. Basically, okay, so for instance, let's use a relationship, between male, female, male, whatever. But you know that something bothers that person, right?
Okay.
And you know that it makes them feel bad about themselves, but you still continue to do it, even though they have told you multiple times, hey, this makes me feel this way. And you keep on doing that because you think in your own head that, hey, it's okay. They'll get over it. But you just actually created more trauma for that person.
Oh, that's a good one.
Not knowing, because not everybody knows, obviously not everybody knows what people have gone through. And that's why I have become so much more accountable for how I treat other people now, because my behaviors back when I was younger weren't always the best. I'm not going to lie. I had a lot of toxicity going on, but that's also because I didn't realize the trauma that I was dealing with, or that I had suppressed in my brain or compartmentalized, and it was kind of seeping out.
Oh, yeah, I can agree with that. I've been there too.
And, not only was it sitting here, I'm trying to build a foundation of, being a better person, but yet trying to build this foundation of a business, or trying to teach my children certain things. But they're how they tell you people learn by what they see.
Yep.
You lead by example.
Yep.
So what exactly are you teaching other people if you're not even paying attention to what you're actually doing?
Ooh. It's amazing you said that, because even me, when I've talked to therapists in the past, one actually said that I had taken most of the trauma that's happened in my life, because some people reject trauma and they're like, nope, I'm not incorporating that. I'm learning from that. I'm not going to be that type of person. But some of them do what I did. And I wrapped the trauma so much into my life that it became part of my being. And so I was going through life doing things thinking it was correctly because I made it a part of me, not realizing like, no, I need to probably not make that a part of me. It's something like, okay, put it like this. It's like an addiction, like somebody that takes on an addiction, whatever it may be, and it becomes part of their life. So they're addicted to it. To them, they're like, this is a part of my life. This is what I have to do. And it's like,
because it's normal. It was made normal for them.
Normal. And so many of us do it. If you left it up to me, I would say everybody needs a therapist, especially in the case of what you just said, relationships, whether it be with another person or whether it be your business, whether it be your guests, like
your family.
I think we all need to figure that out, because we have a tendency to take that on. And I say that because, as you explained it, it becomes a part of your journey, and that can dictate whether your journey goes the correct way or the bad way.
Well, because it's so much easier to blame shift and project and deflect all your things to other people, because it's like, no, you. That's one huge thing I learned is I don't use you statements anymore. Okay. Instead, when I talk, I say, I feel, and then I go into what it is that I feel. And then my biggest problem I have right now with people is the fact that your feelings are not facts, people.
Ooh.
The heart is treacherous. It will lie to you.
Yes, it will. I wish more people got what you just said about your feelings are not facts, because if everybody started to look in things like that, I call it, we're kind of like in an entitlement part of life right now, where everybody's entitled to believe that because I feel this, I'm right and everybody else is wrong, unless you feel like I feel. The people that feel like me come over here, everybody else is wrong.
Yeah.
And so many people are walking through like, and don't get me wrong, I don't like blaming social media, because social media has a lot of positives.
It does, but like it's just what's being.
Because if I got an opinion, I can go on social media and find people that agree with me.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day when I was growing up, well, we were growing up, because you just alluded to when you said the 90s thing. So I'm going to take that, even though I don't believe it, but I'll take it. I need to photo ID one day to believe that, a driver's license, passport, birth certificate. I don't care to believe it myself. But for the time being, I will go with you. When we were coming up, because we were raised in just our environment, if I had a feeling or a thought about something, if there wasn't people around me, I had to be like, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't get this right. But now in today's society, oh no, I'm going online. Oh, yep, there's 10 more people that believe me. I knew I was right. And that's how people live life now.
Yeah.
The likes and the comments.
Yeah, and where are those likes and comments and all these followers going to get you later on in life? What is that going to do for you? What does it mean?
Nothing. Because none of them are going to be there at the end of the day.
Are they? I'm like, yeah, they might be paying some of your bills right now, but that what is given can be taken away. I don't understand why people don't understand that.
Ooh, I like that. What's given can be taken away. Most people overlook that as well. That makes me have a question now. Because you said what is given can be taken away. While you're on the journey that you have been on and the amazing things that you've done, what do you see the giving looks like? Because you just said that you learned from therapists, you've taken away certain aspects of your life, like this can't come with me going forward. What are those things that, because you say you like to help your guests, you like taking care of people, helping people. What is that next step with you with the giving away to people? Because you've learned that when I give to people, it not just makes me feel good, but it does better for people.
Mm-hmm. I guess I know I can't, like, obviously I can't fix people. I can't, make them follow suit or whatever. What I can do is give them a vital piece of information, let them sit on it, marinate on it, and hope that it plants a seed. I just know that I don't want people to have to experience a lot of the things that I have, because it was rough. I used to be quite the oversharer, but now I've become a little bit more reserved in what I share with people, and I'm a very big observer of people. I have a really interesting knack. I always know when people are lying, and I just let them lie.
That's pretty good. I like that. Oh, I'm sorry. That's funny because I do the same thing. I'm like, yeah. And when did it happen? On Wednesday? No. Like, I let them just run with it. Mm-hmm. But one of my gifts and my guilty thing is this memory I have. People forget what they lied about. Mm-hmm. And when it comes back around, be like, no, but you said this. No. And they make the lie deeper. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Whatever. Because they forgot.
They forgot. Oh. Now, okay, because we're wrapping up. But before I even do that, because you said because they forgot. Just in this right at an hour, we've done this talking, and this people thank everybody for tuning in that's been listening. And I don't want them to forget. So I'm going to use you to help them with all the stuff that you're doing on your journey. Mm-hmm. If you can go back, and it's two people I want you to be thinking about. The person that's listening at this, that is the age when you got started with it. I'm talking about all the way back to the painting throughout your journey. If you can go back and guide the younger you on this journey, what's that consistent piece of advice that's turning over in your head? Like for example, me, one of my scriptures is whenever I'm faced with something, it's like I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Like, what's that little piece of advice you would keep reminding yourself along your journey, starting back then, to help you continue to progress, to be better and where you are right now?
To be careful who you let close to you, because not everybody's meant to eat at your table. Ooh.
Yeah, that's to the point. There's no correction. That's just, I want people to not understand what you just said. Like, because remember, we talked about social media throughout the night. And everybody is not for likes, friends. It's just going to be that person because don't get me wrong, there's people that are in your life for a season and a lifetime, but they're there for a reason.
That's my favorite thing. Reason, season, lifetime. I live by that.
She just gave it to you twice. The people that come to your table and everybody ain't allowed to sit there, the people you let in your life. And that thing that she just said she lives by. Reason, season, and lifetime. You have to know who those people are as you progress through life. Because everybody's not supposed to. Don't put somebody in the category they're not supposed to be in. Don't put a person that's for a season and try and make them a lifetime person. Everybody has a cap. If this is their cap, once you help them and they've helped you and we reach that cap, sometimes we have to part ways. Not saying they can be your friend. Not saying you still can't communicate, but they just might be at that level where you are right now. A great example of that is Emily was always getting her hair done by We reached the cap where Emily had to move. That doesn't mean that her and Kenyatta are not still friends.
Nope.
It just means that after she goes to Colorado later on this year, that when it comes 2024, we're gonna have to get Kenyatta over to Louisiana so that Emily can get her hair done. And
actually, I'll have to go to New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico! I thought you said Colorado.
No, she lives in Louisiana right now, but she's moving again.
Well. We will see you in New Mexico, Emily. Don't worry. I'm going to do a follow-up. I don't know how we're going to get Kenyatta back on this show, but when we get Kenyatta back on this show, I'm going to do a follow-up to make sure she has come to see you. I'm going to even give a timeline when I talk to we're going to be like, hey, we're going to come back this day, but we got to get you down. And if we don't, I'm going to have to see if I can get Emily to tune in too and see if she'll come talk to us and see what that. But anyway, no, I'm not going down there. But no, so for somebody because you've been dropping all this great information all night long, for somebody that's not learning from Kenyatta and really needs help, really needs some guidance, might even be thinking about pursuing the same path work and journey that you've been on, how can somebody like that get in touch with you?
With me?
Yeah.
I have Instagram. I have my Facebook. I have 2 different Instagrams. The one I'm on the most is YB is Healing Her Soul. That's the one that I'm on the most right now. The other one is my hair page. It's still up. You can look at all my cool stuff on there. I'm always willing to talk to anybody. I have email.
Don't worry, everybody. I'm going to get all this information and I will put it in the description. And if you haven't done so already, the YouTube channel, Strategic Dope, make sure you like, subscribe, share. I will put all this information under the video because we got to have you back on, Kenyatta. Because I'm still, for one, I want to know what this next part of the journey is going to look like as we continue on, because I know we're not nowhere near through. So that's one. And for two, we got to make sure that Emily gets her appointment. And for 3, we're going to need you to continue to drop in these nuggets that you have been giving us all night. But again, on behalf of everybody that tuned in and all of the listeners, the people that are going to watch this later on, I must say thank you for sharing all this information, because you have given us a lot of knowledge. You've opened up your life. You let us see, because, you know, social media makes it look like people don't live normal lives when we know we all live normal lives. So on behalf of everybody, again, thank you for gracing us and taking the time out tonight. We appreciate you. Now, I don't want you to go nowhere. Stick with me because I want to talk to you.
Right here.
I want to talk to you right after the show. But again, thank you for taking the time. But Miss Kenyatta, you stay blessed, and I'll see you on the other side. Man, now I know some people are probably like, oh man, I thought we were just gonna talk about a little beauty products. No. We got beauty, we got everything we could out of Kenya. And don't get me wrong, we're gonna have her back on. But she didn't just tell us how we're supposed to use our gifts and purpose to help others, but she also showed how it helps you as well when you're doing these things. And not only just helps you, but she took us along the journey of her life, because, you know, people think things just happen overnight. And she was a picture perfect story of what it looks like to progress through life. And I couldn't have seen it. I couldn't have witnessed it any better. I loved everything about the story. And again, I hope you all picked up something and you learned something as well. I'm going to put all this information to reach out to Kenyatta underneath the description. So make sure you all tune in and make sure you reach out to her if you have any other follow-up questions, but we will be bringing her again. But again, thank everybody for tuning in. I really do appreciate you. And don't forget, we're going to be here same week, next week, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And I can't wait to see you and talk to you all again. But until then, just remember to always live in your purpose, with purpose, on purpose. I love y'all. I'll see y'all next week.
I'm back.
Every time I walk out that door, every time I interact with anybody new, my purpose is to help change.
It's time to celebrate life. If you know that you're in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know you want better for your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you have what it takes to be in charge of your life, it's time to stand up. If you know that you are not just trying to be good for you, but for those around you, it's time to stand up. As a matter of fact, look to the person to your left and tell them you are enough.
I want to help you change, and just like you change, every time I interact with somebody, they help me change. It's no different than if I met an individual and they had 4 quarters and they needed change, or if I had $1 and they had 4 quarters, I need to change. We can swap the money. The value is still the same. They still got $1, I still got $1, but we both exchanged something, and it was a change for both of us. So every time I walk out that door, I inspire to help change lives just as much as lives have changed me.
Y'all been listening to the wrong people, watching the wrong things all your life, and it's time to put to rest all those negative thoughts, because you are enough. It's time to put to rest that self-doubt, because you are enough. It is time to get rid of that negative energy, because you are enough. It is time to stop listening to people that don't have the best interests of you in your life, because you are enough. So let's have a moment of silence. I want everybody to understand that you are the person that's in charge of your life. Everything that you have inside of you to be who you're supposed to be in life. You have a destiny. And that destiny can only be accomplished through you, by you, and only you with the help of God. When you realize that you are the person you are, because you're not a carbon copy, there's only one you. They try to put you in a box. Society tries to put you in a box, but you can't be in a box. How can you be in a box when there's only one you? But then they tell you, think outside the box. What I'm trying to get you to understand is there is no box.
I want to pass on the things that I have to the generations behind me. By the time it's time for me to get called home and go to the grave, I want to be empty. I believe in bankrupting the cemetery, so I can't take this knowledge with me because the cemetery is already full of brilliant ideas and unwritten books and innovative ideas. I can't take this with me, so I'm trying to leave it all here as Billy Graham Jr. to the next generation so somebody else can carry it on.